Hello awesome people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Solomon and thank you very much for clicking. In today's video, I am excited to share with you how to design this funeral book cover in Adobe Photoshop. That's a funeral brochure. We are going to look at how to design this cover in Photoshop, okay? And also we are going to look at how to create this 1 week observation or 1 week poster in Adobe Photoshop. And also we are going to look at how to use the same design to create a funeral banner in Photoshop, okay? So if there's something that you are interested in, make sure you click on the subscribe button. Not just subscribing, turn on the post notification bell so that you, my friend, will get notified anytime we upload a new video. Okay, so I was working on this funeral book, a contract that I'm working on, and then I have done with the funeral cover, so I decided to make a content. So why not use that same paint that I just designed fresh so that I can share with you guys. So this is the inside. I am not done with everything. You can see I am working on it, so you can see. So the first page is going to be the order of service, and the last page is going to be the hymn. Then we have the order of service continues, okay? Then the following page from that page is going to be tribute by church. Then I'm going to add them. So you see I have reached where I'm going to type in my biography, okay? So maybe when I'm done and I check your comments on YouTube and see that maybe you guys, if you are interested, I'm going to make a full video about how I created the inside. So without further ado, let's get into this video now in Photoshop. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to create a new document. So to create a new document, Ctrl+N to create a new document. And then I'm going to select A4. You can go to print and select A4. Make sure you have landscape selected under orientation and click on create. Okay, then from here I'm going to bring these guidelines, okay, to help me in creating these files, because at the end of the day, when you are done and you are chopping some parts off, you are not going to cut a variable information on the flyer. Okay, so I'll go to view and I'm going to select new layout. Okay, and I'll make sure I have margin check and everything here is going to be on check, 100 for each, and I'll click on OK. Then from here I'm going to click and drag this one to the center, so it have to stick in the center for me to know that here is the center. Okay, or you can also duplicate the background by clicking on Ctrl+J so that you know here is the center. You click and then it's going to stick for you. Then for me, I'm going to click and drag one here, and also I'm going to click and drag one here as well. Okay, so this is the guide that I'm using. From there I can delete this layer if I want. Okay, so from here I'm going to try and create this same thing that we have here. So with the help of the pen tool, I'll click on P, or you can just select it from here, and then I'm going to click just 4 corners like this. Then from here I will click on the pen tool to view this extra one. I'm going to select the caviar pen tool and I'm going to move this guy a little bit up, and also I'm going to move this guy down. So you have to spend some time to fine tune in the small details. Okay, so when you are okay with it, you can click on shape at the top here to create a shape. Then from here I'll create a new layer and I'm going to create another one because we have 2 over here. Okay, but what we can also do is that you can just make a duplicate by clicking and dragging this one here, and then you can move this one a bit up, and when we change the color to something else and I send that one to the back, this is what I'm going to have. So you can also go with this same thing. Then from here I will select the background and I'm going to click on Ctrl+J to make a duplicate. Okay, and I'll add a gradient overlay on this one. So this is the gradient that I'm going to use. Okay, so let me open the colors for you to see. So this is the first color code, and also this is the second color code, so you can follow alongside me. Then I will change this one from linear to radial because I want to have this one at the center. So when you look at here, you see we have the black rather inside. I'll click on this reverse to have it the other way around, and you can move this one in real time. I'll click on OK if we are okay with the result. Then from here we are going to also create this that we have over here. So with the help of the pen tool, I'll select that and then I'll create a new layer, or you can just select the layer we created. Make sure you go back to the pen tool and then you can click to create this one as well. So from here, I'll use the same technique by using the carrier pen tool to toggle with this one. Alright, then from here, I'm going to manage the layers by clicking and dragging this one all the way down so that it's going to appear inside this one. Okay, so this is going to be for the background, but before that, you can see we have something going up here. That means we have to also apply the same thing here. So I will select that layer, go to FX over here and apply a gradient overlay. So with this one, this is the color code that I use over here. And with my settings, I'll go here with reflected, and then I'm going to have this one in the middle. Otherwise, click on the reverse to change the direction. Click on OK to accept changes. Okay, then for me, I'm going to add my images by going to files. I'll leave a link in the description below so that you can have access to the source files so that you can use it in your project. This image, I have already removed the background and I have also applied some editing on it. That's why you can see it's very nice here. So I'll click and drag it in position, and also I'm going to click and drag it all the way down so that it's going to come from behind this shape that we have here. Then from here, I'm going to add my text. Okay, so with the help of the text tool, you can add your text. So I have already have a type here so that I'm not going to waste too much time. So I'm going to just click and paste in. I'll make it large, and I'll do the same thing for the other text as well, but I'll make sure this text is capped. So I'll just turn on the caps here. So if you have a small letter and you want to turn it into caps, make sure you have this one. Click on so that this is going to be turned into caps for you. I'll make a duplicate and do the same thing for the other text. Alright, so from here, I'm going to add a shape over here. So with the help of the rectangle tool, we can draw a small shape here to fill up this space. Okay, we don't want to leave so much empty space over there. And also I'm going to fill it with this color over here, and I'm going to apply a gradient on this one. So go to FX and apply a gradient. Okay, so I'll do the same thing on the second one, but I will copy the layer style from here. So when you right click, you are going to see copy layer style and select the new one, and then you can paste the layer style. Okay, then also I'm going to apply the same color from here by making a copy from here, then Ctrl O to fit everything to screen. And also I'll go to my source files, click and drag this one into Photoshop. I'm going to use this one to add the edge, so make this one a bit small. Then with the help of the ellipse tool, I'm going to draw an ellipse over here. That's circle to fill this space, and then I'm going to apply a gradient on this one as well. So the same process that we used earlier. Alright, so since one side of the book cover is complete, let's go to the other side where we are going to click and drag this one into Photoshop. Then reduce the size, and I'm going to place this guy here. Okay, then I have this image I'm going to use as well. So I'll click and drag this one as well into Photoshop, reduce the size, okay, so that it fits. So from here, what I can do to make sure this align properly is that with this one selected, I'm going to use the quick selection tool to make a quick selection of this one, and then I'm going to create a new layer. I'll select my paint bucket tool and click on it to fill with a color. Then I'll go to select over here on top here, and I'm going to deselect the selection. Then I'm going to move this one on top of it, and I can create a clipping mask. Okay, so I'll just create a clipping mask from here, and I can make this one a bit bigger and position it as well. Right click, and you can see it fits now. Okay, then from here we can type in appreciation. I'll be using this font for the appreciation, and I'm going to increase the size of the font, and also I will change the color of the font as well so that we are going to see it very well. So I'll make a copy from the back. Then also with the help of the text tool, I'm going to add my appreciation words by clicking and dragging to create a bounding box area where I can just paste in my text. I'll change my font to Open Sans. I'll use the regular and also the interval. Let me maintain something like 15, and let's see what we get. I think we still have more intervals here, so let me reduce this one to 10 and also align this one to the center. And I'm going to reduce the size of the font. I think somewhere 13 is going to be great. So I'll select everything, align to the center, and then I'm going to manually move this one to the center. So the last thing to do here is to type in the in-lavin memory. I'll be using the bit crusher font, okay, and I'm going to also change this one to memory, adjust my text according to my wishes, and also I'm going to move this one down, and I'm going to apply this same color overlay from here. So right click, make a copy of this, and then I'm going to paste this one here as well. So this is how it's going to look like. So I can select both of them and make it a bit larger, and also you can make a duplicate down here. Ctrl O to fit everything to screen. So this is the original one that we created, and this is what we have also created now. So what's missing here is that we don't have the flowers that we added, but it is here. So I can click and drag this one into Photoshop to add the flowers. So this is how you can create a nice looking book cover or a funeral book cover in Photoshop with just some few minutes. Okay, so guys, let's look at the funeral poster itself. That's the 1 week observation poster in Photoshop. So I'll create a new document by clicking on Ctrl+N. I'll select A3. You can choose other size that you want, but I'll select A3, click on create for a new canvas to be open for me. You can click on Ctrl O to fit everything to screen. This is what we are going to create. Okay, so we are going to start by creating this shape over here. Okay, so with the help of the pen tool as well, we are going to start by creating these lines. Okay, then we are going to cover the top as well. Then from here I'll go back to my carrier pen tool like what we did earlier. So we are going to move this guy up, and we are going to move this guy down. So this guy is going to be up like this, and this guy is also going to be down like this. Okay, then you are going to click on this shape here to accept changes, then create a new layer and go back to your pen tool as well. Click to create these boxes, then end, and I'm going to go back to my carrier pen tool. I'm going to move this guy here and bring this guy up a bit, just like this. So when you are okay with it, you click on shape, and let's change the color to something else, and I'm going to move this guy down. Okay, so you can see we have this thing that we created over here. So if you take your time, you can make this one more nicer. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here just for tutorial sake. Then for me, I'm also going to add her image. So I'll go to my source files. I have these images I would like to add. So guys, if you're enjoying this video, let me know in the comment section, and also leave me a thumbs up. Okay, and also if you want to get this PSD file to speed up your workflow, you might already know how to do. Check the links in the description below to go to our digital store to get yourself a PSD file to help you in your activities. Okay, so from here I'll go to my source file. I have an image that I'm going to use. I'll click and drag that into Photoshop, and I'm going to resize the image. Okay, the background is already removed. If you don't know how to remove a background, I will leave a link in the description below where you can watch that video to remove a background in Photoshop. Okay, so the image is going to be placed somewhere here. Then from here, let me hide the image, and then I'm going to apply some effect on the background here. So we have this nice color at the background. So what we are going to do is that with this one selected, let's apply a gradient overlay. So this is the gradient that I'm going to use over here. And also let me change the color of this one, okay, to something like this one, and I'm going to make it a bit deep. And also let me make it a bit larger because it is small. All right, so from here I'm going to go to my source files, and I have this image that I also like to add. So click and drag into Photoshop. Then I'm going to leave it here, and I will reduce the opacity to somewhere 24, 25, 26. Okay, and also you can add the layer marks from here, and then with the help of the brush tool you can blend this one with the background. Make sure you have black as your foreground color over here. Okay, and we can blend this one in with the background. So let me turn on the image for now, and let's see what we get now. So this is what we are going to get. and from here we can add our details like. So guys, from here I'm going to use this font called Rosalinda. You can see these are the 4 fonts that I normally use in my video, so I'm going to use this font here, and also I'm going to change this one to Afterglow font. Okay, and with the Afterglow we can click on this one to review extra details if the text have some. And this one too, I'm going to change this one to Bit Crusher, so I'll select that one as well, and I'm going to make this one big, and I'm going to place this one here. So you just have to fine tune in the small details over here to get what you are looking for. So with the one, I'm going to use this font, okay, and I'm going to place this one here. I'll change the color of my text, and with this one I'm going to apply a gradient on this one as well. So go to FX, and then I'm going to apply my gradient here. So guys, this is the gradient that I'm going to add, so you can also do the same thing by copying this color code. Okay, and here is the second color code as well. Then from here I'm going to move this guy up, okay, and then I'm going to click on OK over here. All right, I'll go back to my source file. I have this flower that I also like to add, so reduce the size, and I'm going to position it over here. This is too big, so I think something like this is cool. I'm going to add a layer mask onto it. Then you can see it is added over here. I'll select my brush tool over here, and then reduce the size with the square bracket, and I'm going to blend this one in. Reduce the opacity of the flower over here, okay, so that it will start blending in with the background. Okay, so Ctrl O to fit everything to screen, and let's see, this is what we have, and this is what we have created. Then from here, let me clip her image with the background. So with this one, I'm going to select the shape. Then from here, I'm going to make sure I have this shape selected. Right click, and then click on select pixels, so that it is going to make a selection around the pixels for you. Okay, then from here I'm going to select this layer. Okay, so this shape that we first draw, so I'll hold down Ctrl and click on the thumbnail over here. So this is the thumbnail. Hold down Ctrl and click on it. It's going to make a selection. Then I'll hold Ctrl Shift I to invert the selection, and then from here make sure you have your layer selected, that's your image, and click on the mask over here. It's going to hide this one for you. Okay, so if you don't have it the correct way, you can click on Ctrl plus I to invert the selection. Okay, so that's all that you have to do. Okay, so if you make changes with this one, then you have to also redo the process again. Okay, so from here I'm going to also add a bit of small shape over here, and I'm going to add a image into that. So this is something that you already know how to do. So I'll fast forward this part, and I'll be back very soon. So if I add this frame over here, this is how it's going to look like. Okay, then from here I'm going to add her name. So I have everything typed here, so I'm just going to come here, and I'm going to make a copy of this one. Then with the help of the text tool, I'm going to paste in the text, and I'll make this one a bit bigger, and I'll change my font over here. I'll go back to my source file, and I'm going to add the rest of the text. So guys, from here you can see that all my text is added. This one I'm using Open Sans, and also this one I'm using the Bit Crusher over here. Then from here I'm going to add this effect that you can see on this one. So let me go ahead and add that one. So with this one selected, I'll go to FX, and I'm going to add that one. So I'm going to use the last gradient that I use over here. Okay, and I'm going to add that one, and then from here I'll add a stroke, a white stroke. Okay, and also I'm going to add a drop shadow. Okay, so you can see the white stroke. We have the settings 13 outside, 63 for the opacity. We can increase the opacity, and also I'll come back to the drop shadow, and I'm going to move this one in real time down over here. Then I'm going to reduce the distance and reduce the opacity of the drop shadow. I'll click on OK. So I'm going to copy the same thing on the Angela. So you can right click, copy layer style, and then come and paste the layer style. A simple way you can do this one is that you can hold down the Alt key on your keyboard, Option on the Mac, click and drag the FX onto the Angela, okay, Angelina, and then we have this one. I'll turn off the gradient effect, okay, and I'm going to apply a normal color that's color overlay on it, and this is what I have. So this is what I'm going to get, and after all, we have everything. So the last thing that we are going to add is this shape and the aka. So this is a very simple thing. Let me quickly add the aka and I'll be back. So with this one, I'm going to add a shape over here to cover the empty space over here, and then I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to also change the color, okay, so we can make a sample color from here. Then the last one is going to add this shape, okay, so that I can add the information like the venue, the time, and everything for this program. So I'm going to, if you don't have the properties, okay, you're supposed to have these properties. If you don't have it, go to settings and you are going to see properties. Make sure it is checked. It is going to open somewhere on the page for you. And then I'm going to make sure I have this linked together corner radius on check, and then I'm going to increase this one. So when I'm okay with it, I'm going to leave it, and then I will copy this one, Ctrl C to copy, Ctrl V to paste this one over here, and boom, I have this effect. Okay, then from here, with the help of your move tool, you can move this one to the center. You can also align it to the center. All right, so guys, from here, with the help of the text tool, I'm going to add these details. So I'll copy this one, then I'm going to create a new layer and create this one and add this one. I'll click on OK, go back to my text tool and add the date. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this one, and then I'm going to paste this one. I'll change the font to Bit Crusher over here. Then I can zoom in into this area, and then I can increase the size of this one, almost the size of this text. Okay, that is the goal here. I just want them to be on the same line, so I think something like this is cool. Then from here, I can make a duplicate of this one and add 2023 over here, and also I can use my shape over here to close up the gap. So that is the same thing that we are going to do over here to close all the gaps over here. So let me quickly do that, but before I move on, please, have you liked the video? If you haven't liked the video, I beg you to like the video now, and also subscribe to the channel if it is your first time here. And also thank you very much for watching to this end, and I encourage you to end to this end and also watch other videos on this platform to help you increase or boost your creativity. So from here, I'm going to move this guy over here, okay, and also I'm going to bring this guy here, and I think I'm okay with the arrangement. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure this is in the center. So you can just click and select everything, hold down the shift key and deselect this one, and you can make sure this one is at the center. I can make a duplicate of this one and then do the same thing here as well. So I can select everything, deselect the background, and then I can move this guy something like this, and then I'm going to add the other details. Alright, so if we add all the other details, this is how it's going to look like. Okay, so from here, what I'm going to do next is to make sure I divide this one with the help of the ellipse tool. Okay, so I'm going to draw something like this one, okay, and then I'm going to paste a color on it. So let me change this color to a bit of yellow, and I'm going to move this one here. Then I'll go to filter, blur, and I'm going to apply a Gaussian blur on it. Convert this one to a smart object, and then let's choose a pixels like 2, and then click on OK to accept changes. So from here, I'll make a duplicate, and I'm going to move that one here. So Ctrl J to make the duplicate. Then from here, I'm going to apply a different gradient on this one. So select that, and I'm going to go to gradient overlay, and then let's change this one to something new. So guys, this is the gradient I'm going to add. So let me open the first color code for you to see. So this is the first color code, and then this is the second color code as well. Okay, and it is the same color code here and here, so you can also do that as well. And I'll click on OK. So from here I'm going to copy this color code onto the others. So right click, then copy layer style, and right click, paste layer style, paste layer style as well. Then from here I can select all of these one, and then I'm going to select a color also from here, click on OK, and then I'll also click on Ctrl+O. So at the end of the day, it's going to look like something like this. Okay, then what I'm going to do next is to draw a shape over here, and with this shape I'm going to add my text on it. But before that, I need to apply a gradient on this one. So let's apply a gradient on this one, and then let's double click to open and change or make some changes over here. I will leave this one as 0. I'll click on OK because I like the result from here. Then with the help of the text tool, I'm going to type in this one or just copy and paste in this. I'll also change the color and make a sample from the back and reduce the size. And also I'm going to change the font type to something smaller, and I'll also make sure this one aligns to the center. Ctrl O to fit everything to screen. So this is how you can create a 1-week observation or a 1-week celebration flyer in Photoshop. So let's quickly turn this one into a banner. So Ctrl+N to create a new document. I'll change the resolution to 72. Let's change this one to pixels, or change this one to inches, and I'm going to change this one to 42, and here is going to be 60. So this is going to be a 4x5 banner. I'll click on OK, and with this one we are just going to use the same details here. So I'll select this, and I'm going to move this guy here, and then I'll also move this guy here as well. Ctrl G to group everything, and let's increase the size over here. So you can see that we are almost done with our banner. We just need to make some small changes over here. So let me add this text, make it a bit bigger and position it well. Then from here I'll change this one as well. Okay, so when you change this text, then you are good to go with your banner design. So this is how easy and amazing you can create these flyers in Adobe Photoshop. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give me a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't, or if you are new here. Thank you very much for watching this video. Until next time, keep creating and never give up. Check out our digital store for all these amazing PSD files. Bye for now.